Good morning, everyone. Hello. Yeah. So, thanks for the beautiful introduction. One thing that you missed is, I also completed Ironman 70.3 last year. So that just you missed. Okay. Thank you. So, first of all, I would like to thank Bhavna ma'am, Sunita ma'am for inviting me. Again, this is the second time I'm visiting here. Last time it was, I think, in Jan, this year only. So very delighted to come again to this prestigious institute and interact with young minds. So now AI, machine learning, deep learning, I have been told that you are computer scientists, computer science and AI and machine learning students, right? No? Sorry? CS core. Okay, okay. So I'll just start with a small story, of this, AI story 6-8 years back, and then I'll talk about this AI evolution because computer science is very, that's the core part of this AI, right? And I'm sure you guys must be very much interested in whatever is ongoing in this industry, artificial intelligence, generative AI, all these things is, so I'm sure you guys would be very much interested in that. So I think way back in 2018, there was one insurance client, one of the top 5 US insurance client, had reached out to us, and then they wanted, the team to, so they came up with for a POC, proof of concept. That's a normal terminology in the industry. So whenever insurance claim used to come to them for rooftop damage due to hailstorm, so then they used to send a manual surveyor, and then there were 2 issues with that. So one is like the manual surveyor had to climb the rooftop, and in US the rooftops are slanted, right? So that's why it's very risky. And second, it was very costly. So manual labor in US is very costly, unlike India, right? So then they said that the alternate option is we'll fly drone will capture the images, and then can you apply machine learning and deep learning to understand and to estimate the extent of damage. And at that point of time, it was a big MNC, like, I was working with WNS as chief data scientist, and because it was for insurance domain, so we had a big analytics team, but the guy who was heading the team, at that point of time, mostly, the industry were working on the structured data, and if you're talking about the unstructured data, it was mostly text, not image. So then they said, we had never worked, so, we are not going to touch this POC because the chances of failing in that was pretty high. And then it was left to me that, okay, Madhukar is chief data scientist, you should be working on that. And then, I had a very small team, couple of interns and a couple of senior folks. I again checked with my, senior team members that are you interested in working on this, complex POC, which is into image analytics. They also said that no, because we have never worked on image, so we won't work on that. And then, I talked to interns, and because, obviously interns don't have much choice, so I started working with intern on that particular POC and ultimately built the solution, presented to the CIO, and he was very pleased. And ultimately, we went on to build a product on that image analytics solution for insurance, and that image analytics solution got the NASSCOM AI Game Changer 2018 award in India and Stevie Gold Award for Best Product in London. So why I'm telling this story? This story tells you that you should not be scared of failing. My senior team members, the head of analytics, insurance analytics, all the other folks, because they had not they had not explored this new, image analytics or new area, they did not want to enter into it. So they were scared. But, I didn't, I stepped into that. I worked with one intern and completed that solution. And that ultimately led us to whatever success we had in that particular product or solution. So the idea is that you should not be scared, like, in stepping into new area, or, venturing into new I'll say new topics or research or any particular topic that you want to work on it. So the idea is, from my personal experience, I can say that, don't be afraid of failing. Don't be afraid, like, if I'll pick this thing and, what if I'll fail in this? Because time is limited, I can't go into, all the failures that I had in the past, but I am very proud of all my failures. And all those failures are very close to my heart, because failure is the biggest teacher. Success doesn't teach you anything. It brings ego. But failure teaches you so many things, and that's why, you should not be scared of failing. You have stepped out, you have completed your school, you have come to the college. My suggestion is, enjoy this 4 year of time. Don't be afraid, like, I should be only following this or that, because this is the standard way of getting success. Enjoy your life. This will never come back. Once you will go out of the college, all the rat race, etc. will start. So till you are in the college, that rat race again, when you'll start giving interviews, etc., then again that rat race will start. But again, my suggestion would be to enjoy life. Don't be afraid of any failure, And now I'll talk about this AI evolution in the industry. So till 2010, I started my career in this, so I have been in this industry for the past 20 years, 2 decades. And I started my journey with American Express. After IIT Bombay, it was campus placement. And, so from there onwards, I'll say at that point of time, it was mostly analytics. We didn't used to call it, supervised or unsupervised or machine learning, etc., etc. It was mostly analytics. And so at that point of time, most of the problems in the industry were structured problem. So when I say structured problem, most of the data set, any data set that you can put into Excel sheet and then you can work around it, then that is a structured data set. So most of the time we were, solving problems related to structured data. So I'll say it went on till, I'll say 2013-14, till most of the folks were, in the industry, were solving problems related to structured data. And then onwards, it started because of social media, thing, all the unstructured, all the text and image and video, audio, all that started coming into the picture. And that's where, the industry had shifted from, only working on the structured data to start exploring the unstructured data. So initially, all the traditional algorithms, logistic regression, linear regression, all these traditional algorithms were able to solve the problem. But when we ventured into the unstructured data, all these traditional algorithms were not able to solve the problem. And that's why the industry had to shift to start using machine learning, deep learning, or complex algorithms. Now, when I say, we started using in 2014-15, that does not mean that we invented all these algorithms in 2014-15. All these machine learning, deep learning were invented way back in 1950s. So they were primarily, used in research area, because industry didn't need to use those complex algorithms, and that's why industry were not using it. But once the unstructured problem started coming to the picture, the industry started using all this complex algorithm, machine learning, deep learning, and all that. And then I think moving forward, November 22, 2000, November 22, ChatGPT. So OpenAI released that ChatGPT 3.5 version. So that was GPT 3.5, and that became viral. So that was the advent of, generative AI. So, and then, it's a bigger race that everyone is running, all the big MNCs. Now you must be hearing a lot about generative AI, ChatGPT, and ChatGPT is one, so people get confused between, so ChatGPT is not there's a difference between GPT and Chat GPT, and Chat GPT is not Gen AI and Gen AI is not Chat GPT, first of all. So now the industry moved from analytics to AI, machine learning, deep learning, and now to generative AI. Now again, if you will talk about this year, mostly now it's a agentic AI framework that most of the folks are working. Most any particular company you'll go and talk to, everyone is working in this agentic AI framework. And the next that is coming is AGI, which is artificial general intelligence. So till this point, so emotional quotient or emotional intelligence is not being empowered to AI, and the research is being going on to empower this emotional part or emotional intelligence to AI, and that is called AGI. So a lot of work is happening in that, and industry is claiming that we'll be able to achieve that by 2026. So this is the evolution of from analytics to AI to Gen AI to agentic AI framework that is happening in today's world. And I'm sure when you are a student of computer science is the key component of all this. Without computer science and coding, you can't be a great AI scientist or ML or ML engineer or whatever. So the point is that you should be focusing a lot in learning all these new concepts, not only resorting to what is being the part of the curriculum, also try to venture out what is happening in the industry, because ultimately if you want to be a part of industry, if you want to do a job, you should be well updated with whatever is happening in the industry, right? So now AI is the future and you are also the future, right? So that way there has to be marry between the two, and now you are not only going to be the future engineer, you will be the future guardian of intelligence. So that way you should be working, thinking and behaving in such a manner that you are not only going to execute the task that would be given to you, right? So idea is broaden your horizon, broaden your thinking, and then step into the outside world, or like for example now you have started, so you should broaden your horizon. That would ultimately help you a lot. And I'll just end this with a spiritual note, like similar to how Rudrabhishek purifies your intent. That way AI should also be built with purity and ethics. So that's all I wanted to convey the message to you. And one more thing, like you should be focusing, like I keep on saying in the industry that we need more problem solvers, right? So you should focus on solving a problem, like all these AI, coding, machine learning, deep learning, these are the tools to solve the business problem. So what you should be focusing on to become a problem solver. So that is, if you learn this skill, this is going to last throughout. So that's all I wanted to share with you. If you have any question, please feel free to ask. No questions? Then should I ask some? Okay, tell me. Last time also I asked the same question. Let me see how many of you answer this. I may have told this during my talk. So tell me the full form of GPT. Everyone must be using Chat GPT, right? Tell me the full form of GPT. No, you should not be saying that. What is the full form of GPT? Anyone? Okay, what is the full form of AI? What is the full form of ML? DL. So GPT is generative pre-transformer. Have you heard about transformer models? Foundation models. Chat GPT works on the foundation models. All these are transformer models. You just type in on the prompt and then you get all the answers. You should also be knowing, why we are getting the right answers. So at the back, there's a foundation model, all these 3-4 years of hard work that has gone behind in building all these foundation models. So you must be hearing there are so many companies who are building this foundation model, not the OpenAI. OpenAI started in 2015. So all these foundation models or transform model, for example, Facebook is also building their own foundation models called Llama. Anthropic is also building their own foundation model, called, there are multiple ones. Claude is the very famous one that they are building, right? So there are so many companies, like Google is also Gemini. How many of you know about this Gemini? Yeah, right. Because if you are using a mobile, वहाँ पे आ जाता है Gemini. So many companies are working on these foundation models, right? So all these tech companies I'm talking about, so all the other companies, they are the users of all these foundation models. They are not the ones who are developing these, because there's so much time, resource, and money goes into it. So it's not everyone's cup of tea to build foundation model from scratch. So now India is also, there are a couple of players in India. They are also building foundation model from scratch again. So the idea is, because most of this foundation model that is being built outside, they are trained on the English language. So now India is building own foundation model. I know ID Bombay, ID Madras, and a couple of IIMs are collaborated and doing this research in training the foundation model on Indian languages, right? So wish you all the very best. My suggestion to you would be, enjoy your 4-year life. You have now got a lot of freedom and power. With power comes more responsibility. I'm sure everyone must have heard about this. So you have to enjoy this power and freedom in a responsible way. Thank you. Thanks a lot.